Budget session of the House of Representatives begins today. Based on the constitutional requirement, the budget must be presented at the House on the 29th of May. The main opposition has called for the budget session also to formulate the pending laws. Good morning, I'm Sarah Chitrakar and these are the headlines of the hour. Budget session of the House of Representatives begins today. The session also to prioritize formulation of pending laws. CPN-UML Chair Oli intensifies parleys with Premier Dahal as police search for Top Bahadur Raimaji alleged of involvement in fake Bhutanese refugee scam. Premier Dahal clarifies the guilty will not be spared. Several people, including children, injured in a shooting outside of a busy suburban Dallas mall. A suspect dead, no word on the number of people injured. And Manchester City move 4 points clear at the top of the Premier League by surviving a late scare to beat Leeds. Second-placed Arsenal travel to third-placed Newcastle today. Prime Minister Pushpa Kamal Dahal has met with President Ramchandra Paudel to hold talks regarding the citizenship bill. Prime Minister Dahal had reached the official residence of the President in Sheetal Niwas this morning. The current ruling coalition is making preparations to forward the citizenship bill endorsed by both houses of the Parliament during the previous term without making any amendments. President Paudel has also held consultations with legal experts in this regard. The budget session of the Federal Parliament is scheduled to begin today. The schedule of the pre-budget session has been prepared as it must conclude before the Parliament Secretariat presents the budget during this session. The budget will be announced on 29th of May following the pre-budget discussions. This will be followed by discussion at the ministry level and then budget allocation. The main opposition, meanwhile, had demanded for the budget session to stress on formulation of laws. The government too has announced that the preparations for the budget session have been complete. The government was heavily criticized during the previous budget session citing failure to give momentum to development works amid failure to formulate required laws. According to the Parliament Secretariat, the meeting of the Public Accounts Committee was scheduled for 11 a.m. to prepare a draft of schedule to be presented during the first meeting of the session. Several top brass leaders and high-ranking government officials have been accused of involvement in the fake Bhutanese refugee scam. Amid the development, CPN-UML Chair KP Sharma Oli has intensified meetings with Prime Minister Pushpa Kamal Dahal, having met with the Premier twice already. Oli has reportedly frequented Dahal's office ever since UML Secretary Top Bahadur Raimaji was alleged of playing a role in the scam. He met with the Prime Minister on Wednesday and yesterday as well and expressed concerns on the development of the scam. The two leaders discussed for almost 1.5 hours at the Prime Minister's office. Speaking with the media after the meeting, both of them have expressed commitment of booking the guilty. The details of the meeting is, however, unknown. CPN-UML Chair Oli clarified he was not attempting to protecting anyone and said that Raimaji was not someone who would flout the laws, but added that Raimaji had been out of contact. Premier Dahal has said he would not spare the culprits behind the scam. An arrest warrant was issued against Raimaji on Wednesday last week and he has been missing since then. So far, Raimaji's son Sandeep and the then Home Secretary Teknarayan Pandey have been arrested for investigation. We'll take a short break here. We have more news coming up. 3 local residents of Jumla who had gone to collect Yarsagumba have gone missing. The Chief District Officer of Mugu, Mohan Bahadur Thapa, informed that Tara Singh Sarki, Putra Sarki and Bir Bohra of Patarasi Rural Municipality Ward Number 2 of Jumla were among those missing. He said that security personnel have been deployed for their search. A team of 15 individuals among those currently missing had gone to Mugum Karmorang Rural Municipality 2 to collect Yarsagumba. The local authority had announced of allowing people to enter Mugu for collection of Yarsagumba from 18th of May. However, hundreds of people have reached there against the local government's prohibition. Time now for our segment, Public Pulse, where you text us with your opinion.
Public Pulse.
Here's the question. What is the reason behind the ineffectiveness of commission formed to empower the marginalized community? Your options are A. Leadership's weakness, B. Confusion in identifying problems, and C. Lack of budget. Voting is on. Type any WS, select your option A, B or C and send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us. Time now for international update. Japan's Prime Minister Fumio Kishida visits Seoul today to meet South Korean President Yoon Suk-yeol, facing a skeptical public there as the leaders seek deeper ties amid nuclear threats from North Korea and China's increasing assertiveness. Kishida's bilateral visit, the first by a Japanese leader to Seoul in 12 years, returns the trip Yoon made to Tokyo in March, where they sought to close a chapter on the historical disputes that have dominated Japan-South Korea relations for years. Yoon is facing criticism at home that he has given more than he received in his efforts to improve relations with Japan, including by proposing that South Korean businesses, not Japanese companies, as ordered by a court, compensate victims of wartime labor during Japan's 1910 to 1945 colonial occupation. South Korean officials are hopeful that Kishida will make some kind of gesture in return and offer some political support, although few observers expect any further formal apology for historical wrongs. Yoon himself has signaled he does not believe that is necessary. The focus of the summit instead will likely revolve around security cooperation in the face of North Korea's nuclear threats, said Shinhwa Lee, a professor of international relations at Seoul-based Korea University. UN Secretary-General Antonio Guterres on Saturday urged all armed groups in Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo to lay down their weapons, saying their presence was causing humanitarian tragedies and threatening regional security. Guterres was speaking at a meeting of regional leaders in Bujumbura, the commercial capital of Burundi, convened to discuss the security situation in Congo, where armed groups have been blamed for violence and mass displacement of civilians. Eastern Congo has for years been plagued by widespread violence that has included killings, rapes and mutilations by armed insurgents from various groups including M23 and the Allied Democratic Forces ADF. Guterres added there were over 100 armed groups in Eastern Congo and that their presence was threatening regional security. A resurgence of the M23 since November 2021 has displaced at least 500,000 people, Guterres said. Congo accuses neighboring Rwanda of supporting the M23 rebels, which are made up of mostly Tutsi ethnic group members from Congo's east. Rwanda denies the accusation and accuses Congo of persecuting its Tutsi population and fanning ethnic hatred against them. Guterres also called for peace in Sudan. He urged the warring parties to put the needs of the Sudanese people first. Several people, including children, were injured on Saturday in a shooting outside of a busy suburban Dallas mall, and a suspect was dead, local media reported. There was no word on the number of people injured or their condition at the Allen Premium Outlets Mall, where the shooting took place, about 25 miles northeast of Dallas. Multiple people were wounded and the shooter was dead at the scene, local media reported, citing the Collin County Sheriff. Video footage showed police officers hurrying shoppers out of the mall with squad cars and emergency vehicles parked near entryways. Texas Governor Greg Abbott, calling the shooting an unspeakable tragedy, said in a written statement that the state was prepared to offer any assistance local authorities in Allen may need. Allen, Texas, is a community of about 100,000 people. Mass shootings have become commonplace in the United States, with at least 198 so far in 2023, the most at this point in the year since at least 2016, according to the Gun Violence Archive. The non-profit group defines a mass shooting as any in which 4 or more people are wounded or killed, not including the shooter. We have more news coming up. Up next is the weather update. That's all for the moment. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.